Odumodublvck is back, louder, sharper, and still as unfiltered as ever. After shaking up the Nigerian music scene with his breakout project Ezioku, the rapper returns with a bold follow-up titled The Machine Is Coming. And if there was ever a doubt about whether he could maintain his momentum, this album answers that question with grit, evolution, and an undeniable presence. Let's get into it. Now, from the jump, it's clear that The Machine Is Coming isn't just another rap album. It's a transitional body of work. A prelude to another upcoming project called Industry Machine. While Ezioku introduced the world to Odumodu's unique, genre-blending style, what he famously calls oporoko music, this new album feels more introspective. It's still raw, still unfiltered, but just a bit more restrained in tone. But here's the thing, it's not perfect. Thematically, the album feels scattered. There's no dominant lyrical thread tying it all together. And while that was understandable on a debut, it becomes more noticeable on a sophomore project. That said, if you listen closely, a pattern begins to form. The lyrics mostly oscillate between tales of self-doubt, rejection, rising fame, and personal triumph. Take the opening track, Legolas, for example. It's named after the legendary archer from Lord of the Rings, but here, Odumodu uses it as a metaphor for survival. He raps about being broke, about losing people, like Isabella, who couldn't stick around when he had nothing. He talks about being the first son, stepping up after his father's death, and the overwhelming responsibility that came with it. And in true Odumodu fashion, he drops heavy metaphors, comparing his journey to that of Jesus building his crew amid skeptics. It's a powerful, vulnerable way to open an album. Then there's Toy Girl, a more upbeat track featuring Valentino Rose and Juno. Here, Odumodu slips into storytelling mode. The song centers around a woman who dates multiple men, promising each one that he's the only one. Odumodu raps from the perspective of someone who's been banned before, warning a friend who's currently caught in her web. It's catchy, rhythmic, and shows his ability to blend street smarts with humor and groove. Wage War is next, and the energy shifts. This one's about pressure. About being at the top and knowing there's a target on your back. Odumodu sees himself as a king under siege, fighting to protect his throne every single day. The beat is slow, but the message is heavy. It's the sound of a man who understands what's at stake. Now let's talk about one of the hardest tracks on the album, Isakaba Man, featuring Rondo de Sosa. This one is pure, unfiltered hip-hop. Aggressive delivery, dark instrumentals, and Odumodu at his most combative. It's a lyrical warning to anyone trying to take his crown. He raps about coming into the game with his own sound, his own fashion, and taking over by force. And in one brutal metaphor, he says if anyone comes for him, they'll be buried right there, no cemetery, no honor. It's raw. It's violent. It's hip-hop at its grimiest. Abo Hustlers is a vibe shift. Here, Odumodu teams up with the post-hardcore duo Abo Hustlers to celebrate how far he's come. He calls himself an Abo Hustler, a man who's no longer struggling to survive, but isn't living in luxury just yet either. It's honest. It's groovy. And it captures that in-between space where ambition meets reflection. And then we get to the final track, Gasoline, featuring Nigerian rap legend Vector. I'm on fire, turn me on. This song is a reflective closer. Odumodu talks about all the doubts he faced. The pain, the hate, the grind. He compares himself to a man in bandages after an accident, wounded, yet still pushing. He credits his rise to blood, sweat, and divine help. And then he asks a question so many successful people face: why do they hate me now that I've made it? Vector's verse adds more depth, reminding listeners of how he too was once doubted, and how the industry doesn't always reward loyalty or legacy. Together, they end the album on a powerful note of resilience and triumph. The Machine Is Coming is a solid step forward for Odumodublvck. It's not as wild and raw as Ezioku, but it shows growth, reflection, and clarity in some places. Sure, the album could use a stronger sense of direction. But what it lacks in thematic cohesion, it makes up for in personality, lyrical storytelling, and sonic experimentation. If this is the warm-up, then Industry Machine might be the knockout. Stay tuned, because Odumodu is clearly not done making noise. If you enjoyed this review, hit that subscribe button, share it with a fellow rap fan, and don't forget, the machine isn't just coming, it's already here.